Okay guys, so here's where I crashed a couple weeks ago with a pedal strike and going over the side here. And I wanted to show you that I face my demons and I'm always fine to come back and ride the same trail again. And it's called Get Back on the Horse, right? And the thing is, there's always going to be shit that happens when you ride, and it's never going to be a sport that doesn't see crashes. And here's where I hit that rock and went over the side right there. Doesn't see crashes and doesn't see, you know, scrapes and bruises and a couple broken bones. I've had my share. So you got to think of it like this. You could choose something safer, and there is cardio things that are safer, because mountain biking is cardio and strength. I would consider it both, but you have to do something. And it's Saturday morning. There's probably a whole huge number of people that are going to do nothing more than get up. It's their day off, have a big breakfast. Maybe they're going to do a little chores around the house if some of the people actually mow their own lawns or wash their own cars. But here in SoCal, you don't see a lot of that. I would say the majority of people just don't do anything for themselves. They farm it. They get those services done by other people. So, you know, they go to a car wash, they have a gardener. So, but back in the old days, that's what we did. When I was growing up, my job was to do the chores on Saturday morning. So I would have Saturday afternoon to hang out with my friends. I would have Saturday evening to go out with my friends, whatever. And then Sunday I would have everything done. So Sunday I had to go to church for a while until I talked my grandmother out of it, but for the many years I always had to be at church. And then, oh, I know what I did. I ended up doing Sunday night mass, so I was able to go to church Sunday night because we had a youth mass on Sunday night. So I did all that, knowing that that's not only my obligation as a participating member in my family, but it was also something that gave me a routine, gave me a purpose to be, you know, a responsible person in my family. And I think we've lost not only some of that responsibility, but a lot we've lost is the fitness aspect, and neglected that. So back to Saturday morning, people getting up and maybe just taking their car to the car wash, and maybe going out to eat, going out to walk around the mall, maybe buy some stuff, do some errands, do some grocery shopping. For the most part, there's maybe some people that go to the gym, and there's probably a lot of people, but after the gym, it's probably filled with, you know, a lot of food and shopping and stuff like that. That, I mean, how balanced is it when you go to the gym for an hour, but then you're grazing on food for 3 hours during the day as you watch a sports game or something like that, go to a sports bar, or you actually go to a game and watch a game and eat your Dodger dog and your Monster nachos. So you think about that routine and those habits year after year after year, and it's no wonder why we are having an epidemic of obesity in America. And we pride ourselves on our, fancy cars and our high-paying jobs that gives us a salary to shop to our heart's desire. But if you notice, and I did a CEU course years ago on obesity, and the dichotomy was actually the most obese men were white men, and older white men that were in upper middle class or upper class financial zone, and then women in a poor economic, so the dichotomy there. But women in the rich upper class were skinny for the most part, and men that were poor in the up poor class, were older men, were also skinny. So it was kind of funny that survey came out like that, and that's what their evaluation was of the obesity in America. Of course, there was a lot of micro classes in between that they talked about. So ask yourself this: what is your balance of time that you are putting yourself through strenuous exercise, or time you're just having relaxed time, me time, sit and watch a movie time, sit and watch a sporting event time? Usually those times with movies and sports are combined with time of grazing on food that's probably not the healthiest food. And how balanced are you with that, as opposed to your health time and exercise and drinking water and eating right, avoiding sugar, avoiding carbs, and so on and so forth? You have to ask yourself that, because it'll catch up to you and it'll bite you in the ass, and you will go to the doctor one day. Hopefully you're going to the doctor and you're not ignoring your doctor visits, and you'll get some labs done and you'll get an exam done, and that doctor will tell you you're overweight, you have fatty liver, you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, you have a lot of other chronic diagnoses that are associated with obesity and neglect. And he will go through a list of things, whether he provides you with a treatment plan, that's what it's called when you leave a doctor's office, and then they write a plan for you to do before the next visit. Whether most of you probably don't do it, but whether he does it and explains it to you is another story. Most likely he will prescribe you some medication, especially if you have high cholesterol and pre-diabetes and fatty liver. But when he does prescribe that medication, it's going to be with the medication and saying, I want you to get on a diet, and I want you to exercise and lose some weight. And he's not telling you that there's something wrong, because that is what is inactivity and neglect, is what is pretty much ruining health for the majority of Americans. They have been basically put into this fragmented healthcare system that has failed to reach out to them and encourage them to keep healthy in a comprehensive manner. And when that person does finally engage themselves with our fragmented health system, they find that they don't have immediate access to any preventive screening and care, and they give up. They okay, well, yeah, you can't do a physical with me until 3 more months, and they don't even bother. Or maybe they schedule it and they don't go. And I've done that too. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to make it so negative, but I want you guys to pay attention and be aware that health is wealth, and your health is 99.9% determined by your influence on yourself and your taking action with your own health interventions. Nobody else is going to do it for you, and I'll leave it at that.